Alright, I got some Kentucky jokes that I came across here. I think it's pretty good. I'm just going to turn this off, actually. So, the Kentucky jokes. Jokesforus.com. Miscellaneous jokes, world jokes, Kentucky jokes. I don't know, I'll post a link, maybe. So, Kentucky jokes. Why did O.J. Simpson want to move to Kentucky? Because everybody's got the same DNA. What's the difference between a Murray State University sorority sister and a scarecrow? One lives in a field and is stuffed with hay, and the other one frightens birds and small animals. What does a Kentucky wildcat do on Halloween? Pumpkin. Why do ducks fly over Kentucky upside down? Because there's nothing worth crapping on. How do you know that the toothbrush was first invented in Kentucky? If it was invented anywhere else, it would have been called a teeth brush. So did you hear that the governor's mansion in Kentucky had burned down? It almost took out the entire trailer park. Why couldn't the baby Jesus be born in Kentucky? Because you couldn't find 3 wise men or a virgin. Why are all the trees in Kentucky leaning to the south? Because Tennessee sucks and Ohio blows. Why are there so many unsolved murders in Kentucky? Because there's no dental records and everyone's got the same DNA. What's the most popular pickup line in Kentucky? A nice tooth. Why do folks from Kentucky go to the movie theater in groups of 18 or more? 17 and under are not admitted. Why did Kentucky raise the minimum drinking age to 25? Why did Kentucky raise the minimum drinking age to 25? They wanted to keep alcohol out of the high schools. Why did Forrest Gump choose Bama over Kentucky? Because he won an academic challenge. How can you tell if someone in Kentucky is married? The tobacco spit stains are on both sides of his pickup truck. Why do Murray State grads keep their diplomas on their dashboards? So they can park in handicapped spaces. What is 20 feet long and has 5 teeth? The funnel cake line at the Kentucky State Fair. What do you call a good-looking girl on the Murray State University campus? A visitor. Did you hear about the power outage at the Murray State University Library? 30 students were stuck on the escalator for 3 hours. Did you hear about the fire in University of Kentucky's football dorm that destroyed 20 books? The real tragedy was that 15 hadn't been colored yet. What does the average Kentucky State University student get on his SAT? Drool. How many University of Kentucky freshmen does it take to change a light bulb? None, it's a sophomore course. How do you make University of Kentucky cookies? You put them in a big bowl and beat them for 3 hours. If you have a car containing a Wildcats wide receiver, a Wildcats linebacker, and a Wildcats defensive back, who's driving the car? The cop. What is the definition of safe sex in Kentucky? Placing signs on the animals that kick. How do you castrate in Kentucky Wildcats fan? How do you castrate a Kentucky Wildcats fan? You kick his sister in the mouth. What's the difference between the Kentucky Wildcats and Cheerios? One belongs in a bowl, and the other doesn't. Why do Kentucky students have TGIF on their shoes? Toes go in first. What do you get when you drive quickly through the Murray State campus? an undergraduate degree? Why are rectal thermometers banned at the University of Kentucky? Because they cause too much brain damage. What should you do if you find 3 University of Kentucky football fans buried up to their neck in cement? You get more cement. What's the difference between a Kentucky Wildcats fan and a carp? One's a bottom-feeding scum sucker, and the other's a fish. Why do they sell so many button-fly jeans in Kentucky? Because a sheep can hear the zippers a mile away. How did the Kentucky Wildcat die from drinking milk? The cow fell on him. What's the definition of a Kentucky virgin? An ugly 12-year-old who can outrun her brothers. What do they call students who go to Murray State? Rejects from University of Kentucky. What does a Kentucky Wildcats fan do when his team has won the BCS championship? He turns off the PlayStation 3. What do you call a Kentucky Wildcat in a BCS bowl game? A referee. What do Kentucky and Murray State students have in common? They both got into Murray State. What's the difference? What's the difference between a Kentucky football player and $1? You can get 4 quarters out of $1. Did you hear that Kentucky's football team doesn't have a website? They can't string 3 W's together. How many Kentucky Wildcats does it take to change a light bulb? None. Lava lamps don't burn out, man. What are the best 4 years of a Kentucky Wildcat's life? What are the best 4 years of a Kentucky Wildcat's life? 3rd grade. What does a Kentucky native and a bottle of beer have in common? They're both empty from the neck up. What do tornadoes and graduates from the University of Kentucky have in common? They both end up in trailer parks. What do the University of Kentucky and pot have in common? They both get smoked in bowls. How do they separate the men from the boys at Kentucky? With a restraining order. What's the first thing an American girl does when she wakes up in the morning? Walks home. What do you call a Kentucky football player with a championship ring? A thief. What is a Wildcat fan's favorite wine? We can't beat Tennessee. I don't know. I don't. These jokes aren't mine, but fuck Tennessee. We can certainly beat Tennessee, home of, the place where they killed Martin Luther King. Tennessee, you all killed Martin Luther King. You also came up with the 1-drop rule in 1910. Tennessee. Why does a Wildcat fan pour his cereal on a plate? He lost his bowls. How do you stop a Kentucky fan from beating his wife? Dress her in Tennessee orange. What did the Kentucky female say after sex? Get off me, Dad, you're crushing my smokes. What's the difference between a bucket of shit and a Wildcats fan? The bucket. Why do they not serve ice and drinks at Wildcats games anymore? The student who knew the recipe graduated. Why don't girls play hide and seek in Kentucky? Because nobody would look for them. So, a country bumpkin family from Kentucky decides to go to the Big Apple for the first time in their lives. Ma, Pa, and son. They go to the Empire State Building. As they're walking around, they notice the elevator. Never seeing one before, they stand in front of it bewildered. While staring at it, an old lady in a wheelchair rolls up to it, pushes the button, the door opens, she rolls herself inside, the door closes. The Kentucky redneck family watches as the lights for each floor light goes on up. They continue to watch as the numbers go down again. The doors open and out walks this tall, gorgeous blonde, legs to her neck, great figure, beautiful. Paul looks to his son and says, "Quick, boy, shove your mom in there." Shove your ma in there. Falling in love. A man fell in love with the girl of his dreams. They were perfect for each other, except for one minor problem. She was a Tennessee Volunteers fan, and he was an Arkansas Razorbacks fan. So he decided to make the ultimate sacrifice, and he became a Volunteers fan. He went to the doctor. The Volunteers, Tennessee, that's what you're proud of, the Volunteers? We got a bunch of volunteers, a bunch of people just do shit for nothing around here. Volunteers are good, but it's not like a Wolverine or a Diamondback or a Wildcat, you know. Volunteer. I guess it is a little bit better than a Buckeye. Fucking Buckeye. It's just a tree. It's a tree. Or it's a Reese's cup. Buckeyes aren't that special of a candy. They're just Reese cups. Okay. So he falls in love. She's a Tennessee Volunteers. He makes the sacrifice and becomes a Volunteers fan. He went to the doctor and asked if there was an easy way to do this. The doctor replied, yes, it's a very simple procedure. What we do is go in and remove half your brain. When you wake up, you'll be a Tennessee Volunteers fan. The man agrees, and the next week he goes into surgery. After he wakes up, the doctor comes up to him concerned. Sir, I apologize, but there was a mix-up with a scalpel. Instead of removing half your brain, remove 3/4 of it. How do you feel? The man sat up and looked around. He says, go Kentucky Wildcats! A Tennessee Volunteers fan and a Kentucky Wildcats fan were driving along when all of a sudden the Tennessee fan slams on the brakes. There's a sheep with her head stuck in the fence, and the Tennessee Volunteers fan said, we volunteers never pass up an opportunity like this, and he gets out of his way and has his way with the sheep. Then he says to the Kentucky fan, your turn, and the Wildcat fan bends over and sticks his head in the fence. So Kentucky, that's what some guy on some website thinks about you. I don't know what all the Murray State University jokes are for. I didn't realize we had, I mean, I guess I did know we had Murray State, but wasn't that, I guess, I don't know. I did apply to Murray State. Murray State, according to Wikipedia, since I got a few minutes to kill. It's located in the city of Murray, Kentucky. It's a 4-year public university with more than 10,800 students. The school is Kentucky's only public university to be listed in the U.S. News and World Report Regional University Top Tier for the past 20 consecutive years. In addition to the main campus, Murray State University operates extended campuses offering upper level and graduate courses in Paducah, Hopkinsville, Madisonville, and Henderson. It's got a $32.8 million endowment. Randy Dunn's the president. Bonnie Higginson is the provost. There's an academic staff of 406. Their nicknames are Racers, except for baseball. They're the Thoroughbreds, or just the Breds. So that's Murray State University. It doesn't seem like it's that bad. It's not as bad as this guy said it was. So, Kentucky jokes. I enjoyed them. Unfortunately, all jokes are based on some stereotypical or some generalization. But I live in Kentucky, so I know that a lot of the generalizations have a modicum of truth. Ask about the Fugates of Kentucky. They got blue skin. And find out why they got blue skin. That would be the reason why you have half these jokes that was listed here. So yeah, Kentucky jokes, Johnny Masters. Yeah, fuck the Wildcats. I like that. Fuck the Wildcats. I'm Louisville here, and living Wildcats. Teach his own. The fan or the players, I'm sure, are good, but the fans are fucking dickheads. Wildcats fans, you guys are dicks. And it's like a religion here in Kentucky. You know, it's the Bible Belt, but the number one religion is Wildcats. And I went to U of L. I'm a Cardinal. I love all things Kentucky, but fuck the Wildcats. Fuck the Wildcat fans. You guys are assholes.